everybody, it's Emily at ARG Schooling, and let's talk about my January TBR. So if you watched my previous video where I talked about one of my reading goals this year, I said I was going to read my shelves, and to do that I made a project where I filled a jar, a much larger jar than I thought I was going to need, with these cards that have prompts to help me pull things off my shelf. So all of these cards have prompts that will lead me to choose books that I already own. I have lists on them to help me remember what I have. So this is how I'm going to be building my TBR all year long. So I hope this goes well. I am going to give myself 2 cards. That way, I can have the option of changing my mind. Sometimes I'm a mood reader. I'm gonna try really hard not to get too annoying with this, but I'm giving myself the option to have 2 choices. So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna do a quick mix. This is already so shuffled. I've shuffled the heck out of it. So I'm just gonna. Oh, look at that. I got 2 stuck together. That worked out nicely, I hope. So let's go ahead and open this one first and see what we have, and see if we're sticking with this or opening the second one. That could not have worked out better, honestly. You can't see what I have written here, but this is Jewish books. So, which is great because I've been in the mood for some of these already, and I was like, I kind of hope I pull that. So, how awesome that I actually did. I don't know, should I open this one just to see what it was, just in case I want to change my mind, but I don't think I do. So actually this works out well. I am going to see what I feel like pulling, and I already know, I think, what my first book of the year is going to be. Sarah is going to be so excited. So just out of sheer curiosity, I want to see what this one is. Even though I'm pretty set, yeah, I'm not going to switch to that. It was werewolves, by the way, if you were curious, but I don't think I'm going to switch to that because I am pretty stoked about my options here. So I'm going to go right now, wander my house, build my TBR, and I will let you know what I ended up picking. Okay, so I have wandered my house, I have browsed my shelves, and I have pulled my TBR. Now, before I show you what I have picked, I want to talk about the ARG Booked Book Club. Our first selection that we're going to be reading in January is A Scatter of Light by Malinda Lo. This is the companion story to Last Night at the Telegraph Club. So if you read that with us, not last year before last, then you're definitely going to want to join in and read this with us this month. This is a story set more modern day. I think, yeah. It says, it is a masterful, queer, coming-of-age story set against the backdrop of the first major Supreme Court decision to legalize gay marriage. I think we're going to be following a new set of characters completely, but we might get to see some of the characters from Last Night at the Telegraph Club make an appearance in the story. I'm not sure who or what or how, but I'm really looking forward to reading this because I absolutely loved Last Night at the Telegraph Club. So, we're reading this in the month of January. If you want to join in and read along with me, that's amazing, and I'm so excited to have you. You don't have to do anything crazy though, just read the book. And on the first Saturday in February, we will be holding a live show on my channel where we can talk about the book and share our thoughts and our feelings and all those things. So, read this with me in January. Now let's talk about my Jewish books TBR. So, I went through my shelves, and there are several things here that I'm really excited about. The first book, probably my first book I'm going to read in January, is one that Sarah has been telling me almost on a daily basis that I need to pick up, and I keep saying I'm gonna. I think it was also on my TBR a stupid amount of times last year, and I'm kind of ashamed at how many times I ended up not reading it. And that is The City Beautiful by Aiden Polydoros. All that I know about this is that it is set in Chicago during the World's Fair in the turn of the century, I think. Is it 1893. So in the late 1800s, and it involves a murder mystery, and we're following a Jewish protagonist. And I want to say it involves like the murder of Jewish people, like Jewish boys maybe, I'm not even sure. And they're, yeah, murdered Jewish boys. So they're trying to like solve the mystery before they themselves get killed, that kind of a thing. So sounds really good. I already know that I'm going to like it. I don't know why I haven't picked it up. I have The German Girl. This is by Armando Lucas Correa, and this is a story about a girl who is able to escape Nazi Germany, and she goes to Cuba. And I think this is a dual timeline story too, where we're like, her granddaughter maybe is learning about her grandmother's past, and so you're going back and forth in time. But I find this one fascinating because I don't think I've ever read about the Jewish community in Cuba, so really intrigued by that aspect of the story. I have The Life and Crimes of Hoodie Rosen by Isaac Bloom. This was been like all the talk lately, I think, on Jewish Bookstagram. I've seen so many people recommending this, and it's short, so that's already pretty exciting for me. Like, I'll feel accomplished. But this is a story, I think, about an Orthodox Jewish teenager and like him. It's like a coming of age, and I think he meets a girl maybe that is outside of the community, and that is like a big part of the story, I think. I don't really know too much more than that because I really haven't read too much into it, but I'm very curious to read that. A middle grade, I have Aviva versus the Die Book. This is by Marie Lowe, and this is a story about grief, I think. And again, pretty short, and I've been really wanting to pick this up. I don't really know too much more about it either. It's just a girl who is being haunted by a die book, and yeah, it has to do with anti-Semitism as well, I think. So really curious to see what I think of that. I have The Last Words We Said by Leah Shear, and this is another one about an Orthodox community. I have never been an Orthodox Jew, but I'm curious to learn more about that. This one, I think, is just about a group of friends, and one of them has gone missing, and I think they're kind of unraveling what might have happened throughout the story, but it's focused on this Orthodox community. And then I have See You Yesterday by Rachel Lynn Solomon, which I'm really curious to read because this is a time loop story, and I love a good time loop. This is about, I think, a girl at the beginning of her college experience. I think this is like the first day of school, maybe even, and she wakes up and has a not great day, and then finds out she has to relive it again, and that there's other people also stuck in this time loop, and I just think it has a lot of potential. It is technically a romance though, so I'm hoping that the time loop aspect is enough to hold my interest, that I don't get bored. But I'm very curious about that book. And then I think this is my other like most exciting book I have in my TBR. I really hope I make it happen. And that is When the Angels Left the Old Country by Sasha Lamb. This has been like blurbed as Good Omens, but make it Jewish. This is a story about, I think, two angels who have to leave the shtetl and go to the new country, and they come to America and their experiences. I don't know too much else, but I've just been like really excited about this because Good Omens is one of my favorite things ever, and I'm very curious to see like what this story is because I just the concept sounds so good. So I don't know, it's an angel and a demon. Okay, so very similar, I guess, to Good Omens. So it's an angel and a demon. They're coming to America and leaving behind the shtetl, and I don't know more than that. I'm excited. So those are the books that I will be reading in the month of January. I'm super excited about this TBR. I'm very hopeful that my TBR jar game is going to keep me on task, that I will read the things that I own on my shelves already and work my way through this TBR, because I have a lot of books that I just have not read. And I don't know why that I keep playing this game where I just keep buying more things and not reading what I have. So that is the goal. Follow me along and see if I stick it out. Maybe I'll do a reading vlog for some of these books. If there's anything here that you guys want me to read in a reading vlog, let me know down below in the comments, and that will help me figure out my reading schedule. So, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Happy reading. Bye.